Hey, mamas, welcome back. I am excited. I have a guest here who was with me near the beginning. Actually, I really encourage you to go back and listen to episode 15, which was titled Resilience Unveiled with Martie Smith. And thank you, Martie, for coming back on the show. It's been a while, but no, I'm so
A
excited
year.
to talk with you again. How things
Yeah.
been?
I'm busily blessed. I just don't know. I don't even know the words. This from an author.
Mhm.
I just can't put in the words how much has transpired in a year's time, because that's when we had our interview last, and it was like I never expected when I interviewed you, I never expected all this amazing blessings, and it's like they swung open all opportunity doors, and now they're coming at me. I get to have the privilege of choosing what sticks with my mission, my purpose, and my plan. So
Love it.
I became a resilience ambassador. I'm an internationally, globally, three bestsellers in four categories each. And it's just, ah,
I know. I love it because I remember when we last spoke, like that was like you were just getting nominated, you were about to travel out of the country, you have all these things kind of like lined up, and this is was so powerful about our conversation was just, it is all about embracing our unique journey, and you already
right.
had such a story of what you've gone through, what you've been through, and just to see that in just a year's time. I
I know.
love that since we've talked.
I don't know where I left you, but I got a resilience. So I published my first book in
Oh,
2022,
mm,
December.
hmm.
In January, I got the first Resilience Award. 6 months later, they call me, nominate me for Women of Hearts. They actually picked me. I went to England.
That is
In
it. That's exactly where we left off. Ah,
Yeah, the crystal back
congrats.
here is, I was like,
Yes.
I don't, my husband says build a trophy room, and I'm like, for what? To dust everything off? I
I love
don't,
it.
high maintenance. So after that, while I was in England, they nominated me in Ireland for Women of Story of Global Impact, another award. Okay, I come back home to North Carolina, Inspiration 2023 for Latinos Sin Fronteras. So I hit the Hispanic side of things too, which is, to me, God doubly blessed when I went back to my native tongue, which is not the accurate part for me to do as an author. It requires a lot of effort and okay, and rethinking, because your brain, is constantly shifting, and it's like, no, they don't say it that way, or do they? Or I don't remember, so,
Yes.
so it's like, I'm just doing my best, and I'm trying, and this is where I said I'm going to keep the language simple
Yeah.
so that I don't complicate, because I mean, I could sound like a scholar from, the massive universities, and using all these technical terms, but that's where people, with all due respect, I admire their education, but people get lost. Us little people that
Well,
are not in the scholarly world
yeah.
lose that beautiful message that they may have for the world.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, Marty, stick with it, stick with the basics, stick with your plan, interpret easily, and so I did. And I'm on my 10th book now.
Ah, my goodness. That
And
is
some of them are
incredible.
some of them are solo books, and some of them are actually anthologies, but that's the beauty of it. The one I got the three top sellers or bestsellers for Creative Chaos Warning or Warrior. That's the one where, in today's society, especially now, we're being bombarded with all kinds of truths, half truths, misjudgments, all kinds of mess.
Yeah.
I've come to declare that everything that I've learned, I have to unlearn.
Mm,
I have to discern
good point.
and figure out where I stand, what can I control. The rest of it is all the confusion that they want to create, so that
Mhm.
no one is focused, so that no
Exactly.
one dreams, so that no one has
Mhm.
a passion
Passion.
and a purpose and a mission. They don't want people to think on their own
Yeah.
feet. They want the people to just go with the, okay, go with the flow, whatever
Yeah.
you tell me. And
Be
I've
sheeps.
always
Hmm.
I've always been against the tide since I was little.
Yeah.
So to me, I had a head start in all of this, but I decided to write that book, and it was very good for me to write down all the like the gold nuggets of everything I've learned along the way about facing all these lies, facing all these limiting belief triggers that
Hmm.
make you more confused or make you doubt yourself or I don't know what I'm
Yes.
doing, I'm no good at anything. No, get that out your head.
Yeah.
Get it out your head because that's what happened to me. I got all that out of my head.
Good.
And now look at what's happening. And it is the law of attraction. It is the blessings. You count the blessings that God has laid along you. You don't get lost in the little adversity that occurs because most of us only kind of compared to the real world, we only break a nail, but we freak out.
Yeah.
And then if we listen to all this media and everything, it just
Oh,
adds,
yeah.
and we don't see. We're blinded and we don't see. So I made my New Year's resolution and I said, okay, you've got the adult side of things and now you're teaching and I'm getting asked to be on speaking gigs with the International Congress, all kinds of
Yeah.
tidbits that I never imagined or thought capable of doing. So
Right.
that's why I say when you think you can't, no, that's when you should look why it is you say you can't.
Yes. Oh, that's amazing. I am so happy for you. And you have always been such an inspiration to me because, like, the fact that you've been through all that you have and you've just gotten to that point in your life where you were just ready to share your story and stop trying to be someone you're not. You just
Right.
really became authentic to who you are. And I think that's the missing link for so many of us. Like we compare ourselves to what everyone else is doing until we just were like, well, I want what she has. So maybe if I try to do something similar, it will happen for me. And even on my own journey, I've had to really sit with that and realize like,
Mhm.
Mary, what does success really look like for me and my family? Like, what do I really want? Not what, society has almost taught us what success should look like, rather than, just really being true to us. And I think that's one thing that just inspires me is like, you're right. Just seeing that you, by taking like little small steps and just putting yourself out there and just doing these things that you enjoy and trying to serve others has opened all these doors of opportunities, and that is what it's about, because I think we can't be sure of what's coming, but we can believe that if we're meant for something, right? We just have to just show up and just do what we can when we can, what we have control over, right? And the rest
Yeah,
falls into place, doesn't it? And
that's
you're
it.
living that right now, just in this year, it's time of us not since the
It's
last time.
it's
Mm.
crazy. It's unbelievable. And this from the Debbie Downer that used to be woe is me and let's play all the violins and all the drama, trauma and terrible music that to make you feel this big because the world doesn't do anything for me and I've had nothing but a bad life. And that I had to get that out of my head because okay, my mom called me a mistake when I was 7 years old. It took a long time for me to realize that she didn't know what she was saying. She didn't know what she didn't wasn't born with a manual to take care of her children. And so she didn't want girls. For some reason it was overprotection, whatever it wasn't for me to decide that it was the curse of my life. Okay. It took me 60 years to realize it. But I'm grateful that before they left this earth, that I was able to take care of them. And they did get to see a glimpse of the black sheep turn gray. It's like, hey, you're the one that came to the rescue. My brothers disappeared. And so it's like that was the best healing process for me because I knew that God was giving me an opportunity to heal much more. And since I did all that, I wrote the book and everything else. So it's like everything was lining up. Everything was already God's plan. I just didn't know where I was going. And I
Yes.
said, God, wherever you want me, however you want me, I'm yours. And the next thing I know, things started popping up. And it's like all the missing puzzle pieces of my life decided to show up. And another thing that I have definitely defined as a must, I am in competition with no one but myself. You cannot
Yeah.
go by there's beautiful things out there. There's perfect people that know how to eloquently deliver
Yeah.
and they're all professional and everything. But you can tell the authentic, the
Yes.
real life, and the people. And I see now that no matter how crazy I am, and I am goofy,
I love
but
it.
I feel like I'm a kid getting all the chance of living the childhood I never had. Because of that, on New Year's Eve, I said, I'm going to write a children's book.
Oh,
And all of a sudden, I said, Martie, don't get in your comfort zone and wait till whenever, because I was very busy. I
yeah.
have three pinched nerves in my back.
Oh my
Okay. And this was like February a year ago that these three pinched nerves, and I was like, okay, Martie, God is testing you. Are you resilient? Are you just going to throw the towel and say, I can't do this no more, hide from the people? No, show them the reality of your life. And they can inspire themselves to say, hey, if she could do it, maybe I can give it a try. And if you don't know how, call me because I will get you started.
I know you will. I know
So,
you will.
so
Like I love.
don't give me that you can't do it. You just
Yeah.
don't know how.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. But never believe that you cannot be capable of doing anything because God put unique gifts in each and every one of us, a talent that no one else has. They can't steal it from you. Maybe you don't see it because you have been exposed to all these things that are negative, that don't allow you to dream and see the reality of what you really mean for a passion, a purpose, and a mission. So it's tricky, but I see where most of us just get lost in the shuffle and we don't have time because we're so busy making money to try to sustain our family and
Yeah.
everything else. So it's understandable, but it's unforgivable because you're going to be a slave for the rest of your life, and you're going to get to the point where you can't work and you're going to say, I didn't do a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't do a thing. So what do you want to do? Leave a legacy of hope and something better than how you found it? Or do you just want to carry the chains of everything that you inherited and keep delivering the same message to the future generations? That's where we need to break them. And it's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the people that don't have a plan to get out of it. So it's cool
Yeah.
when you get over it and you look back and you go, wow, how did that happen? Okay, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Because that's all I can say is thank you,
Yeah.
God, for letting me see, letting me
Yes.
realize that I had to love myself
Yeah.
to be sharing with the world what I am.
Oh,
So
Marty.
my first book is Martie Spark, and
Yeah.
it's in English and in Spanish. And I'm getting ready to do something because I'm a caregiver at night,
Oh.
and there's some blind people and there's some handicapped people, and I was handicapped. It's like all of a sudden, Martie, start your book in Braille, do the audio for the challenged, and to me that's like God opening up more
Yeah.
opportunities to say these people need to hear the very message that you're delivering to normal able-bodied people.
Oh,
And
Marty.
sometimes those people are more resilient
Oh,
because they've already accepted their condition for whatever reason. Some haven't, but I do see that there is that promise that I can do something even though I am how I am. And that's what we all need to inherit.
yeah. I mean, talk about embracing, your true self. It's like, and you're right. If you see people all the time who have disabilities that freaking make stuff happen, they don't let it define them. They still go out there and win awards or play the sports or do the
They
things
throw
that
themselves with skis
yes,
on the
yes, exactly.
and me,
I know, right? It's like, and we take those body parts or those things for granted for those of us who don't have that disability. So our own disability, a lot of times though, is our own mind. It's our own
yes,
beliefs that we're not worthy or we're not capable or like woe is me, like you say, that
yeah,
victim mentality. And Lord knows I get it. I was there for so long too, and I'm grateful to be on this journey. I love being able to be open to learn and receive and
that's it.
and understand that I have had this calling for a reason. And yes, I may have a lot to learn. I may still have a long journey ahead of me of really growing, but I'm actually more excited about that because I'm not too focused on like where I'm going to end up because I see it all the time. Like I do believe I see myself in certain areas. I visualize it, and I may not have all the facts of like, well, how am I
Right.
going to get there? What am I going to do? But I trust in God that like as I just show up each and every day and just take one action at a time that I can, He will open the doors for me. And Lord knows He already has. Like even just in my past year since that, I was awarded, the 2024 Coach Award from Life Coach Code for the best parent coach, and I'm like, I'm already making an impact even without realizing and all and all that I'm doing and putting out there. It's like sometimes you don't even realize the impact you're making behind the scenes, even if it doesn't seem like it's going for you, it really is.
Well, but there's a bombardment of things that have happened since with the awards, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden, like, all right, that was cool, excellent,
Yeah.
but I can't rely on those and just sit there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
I've
I
gotten
did
here.
it.
I'm done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, no,
There's always
it's like a realization. Okay, if you got all that, how much more can you do
right.
better to get more? Well, let's check this out. I got International Association of Top Business Professionals. To me, that is like, who did, I asked them, are you sure you have the right Smith? And she goes, no, this is anonymously, someone nominates you that knows you or follows you, and they put you up here. So they're going to put me on the Bellagio, the
Wow.
whole, this from a person that was scared to get a picture. Now they're going to put my whole picture in the Bellagio in December 2023. And they have 200 outlets that are going to publish my story. I have a huge interview Monday with a Miss Universe,
Ooh.
I, I I didn't
Yeah.
see it coming. I didn't see it coming. I'm still pinching myself. I say, okay, Marty, just stay with the program. Stay what you've been doing. Don't let the
Yeah.
fumes get in your head.
Hmm.
But that's the whole thing, is God is letting me have that opportunity to go global, because that's what I saw a year ago. It's like, I'm gonna go global. I wrote my book in Spanish and in English. You're just not limited to here local, the
Yeah.
Anglo version of everything you do. No, you got more to offer, and God gave you two languages. He
Yeah.
gave you three, but the
Yeah.
French will keep it to, because I never wrote any other than my homework. I only wrote French, but I
Yeah.
understand it and I can follow it, but I
Hmm.
can't speak it. So
Yeah.
we just go with, when someone says, "Ah, parlez-vous français?" Oui, that's it.
That's that's more than I could do. So you're good. You're still one step further. And you know what? Hey, you never know. Obviously, look at what you've already accomplished. That time could come for you later on, and you can find that place. But I love even the Braille and just reaching those disabilities, like to help, because your message alone could help those people who haven't quite yet accepted to
Mhm.
actually accept it, and open new doors for themselves as well. And that's what this is all about. I mean, it's truly like helping to show other people just how capable they not only are, but the possibilities are endless. Like we may not
That's it.
all know what's coming, but if we never try, then we won't ever know. And that's the whole
Yeah,
point of it all. You got to try. You got to be true to like to yourself with it. It's
that's it.
yeah.
I think the key elements for
Uh-huh.
me that made me do that shift in
Yeah.
that whole thing. Well, I lost the weight, 70 pounds, 70 inches back in during the pandemic. And that was like, okay, change in mind and
Yeah.
body and soul. You got your body, now let's go with the mind. And I started taking all these empowering courses. And I had always been interested in psychology. So it
Mhm.
was like, okay, now pluck all that technology, all those technical terms, all that
Yeah.
fancy language,
Hmm.
and stick it with something, a workable plan for simple people that can understand that if they get that, they can handle adversity. If they won't let that stop them from continuing. Yes, we are faced, and that is life. It's a
Yeah.
roller coaster. It's
Yeah.
a up and down. It's everything else. But if you don't have that focus and you don't have that resilience, you're gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
And you're not going to know how to get up and shake off and move on. All right. Another thing, surround yourself with the people that are taking you under the wing, because
Yeah.
that was the angels that appeared for me last. They were like, Marty, you can this and you can that. And I look at them like, they're nuts. They don't have a clue. They don't know what they're talking about. And they, for some reason, in could see that I was, having that. And I didn't see it because I was stubborn. I was stubborn.
Oh
So I
man.
took stubborn out of the thing. I'm perseverant. Okay, let me see how I go find what it is that they're telling me. And I started getting more comfortable in doing things, and more daring and more bold. And
Hmm.
when I start seeing I'm in the comfort zone, and that's why I wrote the kids book. It's like, okay, no, next. And so you start you practice enough, you
Yeah.
start programming yourself to not just stop at the thing that looks really good right now and vacation time. No,
Yeah.
no, it's a fight to the finish for me. I'm gonna die learning, and I'm
Ah,
gonna die leaving a legacy of hope and resilience. Whenever that happens, it's up to God, but I think He's opening up more doors for me to do it while I'm still alive. I'm
yeah.
65 years old. I feel like I'm 10 years old.
Oh,
Like, give me the cookie in the candy store because I am tickled purple with everything that I'm able to see. I wasn't able to have children. For me to share with children the joy of resilience is like that's I see myself as a
yeah.
little girl going, okay, you had that spark, you had that joy, you
Yeah.
just didn't know what to do with it. You didn't know how to light it, you didn't know how to nurture it. Once you get that nurturing, you start going,
Yeah.
okay, I see the big picture. I
Yeah.
see where my dreams are. I see what I can do and can't do, or I'm curious about everything and I'm gonna figure it out instead of I can't do anything
Oh,
because we
yeah.
shut down from the first challenge and that's not good. That's not healthy. And it gives us emotionally dependent on things other
Mm.
than ourselves. And
Yep.
we can't do that.
Oh,
We
no.
we shouldn't. That's why there is addiction. That's why there is depression. I know I had severe depression, psychiatric treatment. So I know what I'm talking about when I say depression.
Mm.
But at the same time, I'm so grateful that I got out of it. I don't take one medication
I
at
love it.
all.
Oh,
I
mm.
wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I go to bed at 10:30. I'm well rested, even with the pinched nerves, even with
Mm.
everything, because I see that the satisfaction of every day doing something different, something better. And I challenge myself, okay, you did that. Let's see what you can do now. And
Ah,
just keep going. And while I'm doing all that, all these other people coming in with awards. I just got an award today for educator something something. It's on LinkedIn.
wow, Marty.
International
Gosh.
educator, and I got another one coming. I'm going to be an icon of something. See, I can't even keep
Keep
up with
up.
the
Wow.
with
Mm.
the with the recognition, but to me, the recognition I appreciate everything that people have recognized in me,
Hmm.
but that's not my stop. That's not my stop. It's like if
Yeah.
I could do it, I could show the rest of the world that they can do it too if
Yeah.
they apply themselves, if they do it. So, moms, please teach your children how to be resilient. Get my children's Marty Spark book, and maybe reading that book, you'll start saying, "Ooh, that triggered something in me." And if it triggers something in you, I got books for adults. So I'm providing resilience in any way, shape, or form. I'm also going to be doing this is with Kudos Miracles.
Hmm.
It's a wonderful outfit, and I think if you wanted to put an interview in, I could get you one because it is about changing the world. It's about helping resolve the education, the
Hmm.
homelessness, and we have solutions for everything. The thing is getting together the people that want the game changing, that want
Yes.
that are focused on working together. And when you pile all those people together, you see results. And I'm blown away by it, but I will definitely hook you up with an interview for that
Thank you. Yeah.
because I want you to help moms all around the world too.
World.
And these people are global.
Oh,
So
I love it.
it-
That would be an honor because, like I said, that's me too. You, like I said, I just see so much of like myself in you, and I'm like, oh, you just inspire me. And you're such, I love it because, like you shared, you're 65 years old, and because you hear it all the time, like, oh, I'm too old, but you're never too old to chase your dreams. And even so, I hope that inspires any young moms who are listening. Like, get started now, because imagine with the little amount that you've accomplished in that short amount of time. Imagine a mom in her 20s or 30s, 40s, even like getting started now of what you can accomplish, the people you can reach. So it's like, I just hope hearing this just really shows you
Not only
the
that,
limitless.
children
Yeah.
can wake up in you, and this I'm
Oh,
noticing.
yes.
They wake up in you a whole bunch of stuff that you forgot that you were capable of doing as well.
Uh-huh.
So I think the wisest generation is the children.
Oh,
They come
yes.
in pure love. They go out in the playground and they fight,
Yes.
but they're making up and they're forgiving and they don't hold grudges. They
Hmm.
don't hold all that toxic environment in their head. And you see them hugging and you're like, oh,
I
you know,
know.
And then you put them with animals, golden retrievers.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Yes,
I'm
I
on
have a
board.
we have a silver lab, and seeing my 3-year-old and him hang out and him hug on him and stuff, or even my, oh, it's the most beautiful sight. And I
They
even just,
teach
yeah, they do
unconditional love.
unconditional love.
And so if you put a pet and a kid in front of you that is hustle and bustle with everything in today's world, and stop and say, my child can be an entrepreneur from the get-go. They can make cookie a cookie outfit. They can go take care of the senior citizens
Yes.
by mowing their lawn,
Hmm.
checking their mail, or just going to go visit them.
Oh
So
yeah.
my big dream is, when I start getting all the funds and the
Yes.
resources,
This
is
is.
to open up a retreat center, and it'd be like for the elderly people to come for a
Mhm.
day and train with the kids that are working the golden retrievers and the horse therapy for the
Oh,
handicapped people. So
that's
it's like I've always
beautiful.
had all
Oh.
this.
Oh, that's such a beautiful, beautiful vision, and I just see God using you to get that open. It won't be long before you're on that path and you're getting that open and you're making that change, Marty. I 100% see that with you, and I'm so excited for those people that you're going to help and change their lives. Because you're right, this is why I think I am so passionate about helping moms, because I know it starts with us because of our children and what we model for them. And it's just, I know from my own experience of how hard it can be growing up and seeing a mom who talks bad about herself, who hates on herself. So I can also
Mhm.
believe and understand the power we have when they see us loving ourselves, taking care of ourselves, showing them that they are capable, teaching them life skills from a young age of
Of
how to
course.
be independent, how to love themselves, how to accept themselves. Because that's something I see that's so sad in this world right now, is these kids are so confused because they're getting
Mhm.
taught all this crap about having to be something they're not. But it's like, no, you're perfect just the way you are. You're not a mistake. You're beautiful. Embrace your uniqueness, love your uniqueness. And then everything else will fall in place. You will find
That's
your way.
it.
You will
And
find your people. And I can't express enough too with what you said earlier about the community and getting connected with people who
Mhm.
uplift you, because that is the true power. I think my favorite thing about this whole journey that I've been on so far is the amazing people like you that I get to meet, and just following you and seeing all the potential that's out there, and then also the ones that I've connected with that we meet and we hold each other accountable and we uplift each other when there's times that we're feeling all the things and we're like, oh, it's been a hard week, it's been
That's
a
it.
stressful, whatever. You want to find those people who will believe in you until you believe in yourself. And that's what we're here for. And that's what me and Marty do, because it's empowering, and it's about time, right? That we step into who we're
That's
meant to
it.
be and believe that we're all worthy of having abundance and success and whatever our dreams are.
It's not that complicated. We complicate
We
it
do.
to death because of what we were
Why?
taught, of how we were told you have to have a
Yes.
degree, you
Mm.
have to own a house, you have to own a
Mhm.
car, you have to be a slave to property. No, I don't think so. You have to be you.
Yeah.
You have to discover all the tools, all the uniqueness God put in you, and use them and practice and figure it out. We have to figure life out. I wish I could give you a whole checklist of what you require to live. But until you go through
Mhm.
your own digging out of everything that has limited you, that has stopped you from
Yeah.
seeing the reality, because our reality is all our limiting beliefs, and that isn't reality at all. That's how we perceived it. So if you get like a photographer, I say, that's why I love taking pictures, because if you get in the right angle, you get the perfect shot. And that's the thing, is we need to look at adversity or whatever it is we faced and look at it in a different way. Okay, yes, you went through hell. Yes, your parents weren't ideal. They were not the Hallmark parents, whatever. That doesn't mean that you didn't learn a lesson or an opportunity to change it. That doesn't mean that
Mhm.
you are not a survivor. You are here. You are alive. You still have all your senses, your wits, your everything. Why are you
Yeah.
letting it hold you back? Why aren't you using them, discovering? T- the best thing that I say for people to do is start writing all these things and all these thoughts that we live. Start writing them, and then you'll see, why did I write that? Because when you take it out of here and put it there, you you're in actual present time, and you're like, That's well, yeah, I went through that, but that's not what is going on now, you know. So you start like I say, shredding all that mess out of the way. You're cleaning out the vision to see a bigger picture. You
Yeah.
got more room to check out the perspectives and get that shot of what it is you want to do in life. What do you want to accomplish? Make it about you. We have to be selfish. It's not arrogance to figure out that maybe we don't love ourselves. Maybe we don't live a bold life, and maybe we don't dare to do things because of what will people say, what will people think. Forget them. They don't care. They might be, and maybe the reason why they care or they mention anything is because they know that they're not able to do it. On the contrary, grab them and say, come on, let's go figure this out. Be the positive image, be the light for those people, because that is what makes a huge difference in the world. It's not the economy. It's not being rich. It's not winning the lottery. It's not
Yeah.
recognition. It's all about how you behave on a day-to-day basis, how you treat other people, and how you inspire them. Because you, each and every one of us, impact in one way, shape, or form, whether we admit it or not. We don't have to be a coach. We impact people
Yeah.
by our behavior. So when you keep your behavior in check, you're going to be in less of a hassle, because you're
Yeah.
going to say, okay, that's not for me. Walk away. Don't keep hitting that U-turn every time. No, you know not to go down that road anymore. So you learn with practice. So anyway,
Absolutely.
that's
Ah.
my story, and I'm sticking with it.
Oh my gosh. And it's just wonderful. It's so wonderful to reconnect with you and to hear all these incredible things that you've accomplished since our
Thank
last
you.
time. And yeah, I'm serious. I'm so excited for you. And you are just getting started still. You are have so much still to accomplish. And the way you've just shifted in life is just it's true. You truly are an inspiration, Marty. And I'm
Thank
so
you.
grateful that we met. I really am. You have
And I
I
just celebrated yesterday
uh,
42 years of marriage bliss.
oh,
That
happy
that
anniversary.
he's been my rock, my anchor, my coach, my cheerleader, my everything. Because if I hadn't had him, I don't think I would have made it this far at all, at
That's
all.
wonderful. That is.
So I'm just grateful for everything God's putting in my path, and
Yeah.
I want everyone to be grateful for everything they have, and that's where we figure out what we don't need anymore, and go with it. Go with the things that make you feel good. Go with those things that say, I'll work on that tomorrow. I don't care if they don't pay me. And then you'll see how you grow.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, that is such beautiful, beautiful advice and just so I mean empowering for so many listening. We just really want to see you thrive. We really want to see you get make that difference in this world that you're
Mhm.
meant to make. I mean, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing because I feel that I've felt that calling my whole life and for so long too. I fell into the beliefs that only a few people get that ever. And Lord, I love him for showing me how wrong I was. And now here I
Yeah.
am doing things I never thought possible. And even though I too, like, I have no idea what's to come, where I'm really going to head down. I'm still excited to just every day show up and get more and more in love with myself and with my life. And I feel so empowered to be able to do this right here. It is
That's
one of
it.
my favorite things. And I'm so excited and grateful, like you say, that I took a risk and I just did
That's
it.
it.
I
That's
just
it.
tried.
And the worst that could happen is it doesn't work, but
Okay.
you learn something, and
Yeah.
then you figure out what it is that didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you block take all those blocks out of the way. That's what happened to me, because I was like, okay, I write a book.
Yeah.
I don't have any money. I don't know. This ain't gonna work. You know, like, because the
Yeah.
old Marty wanted to come in there and take over and say,
What are
don't
you
do it.
doing? Yeah. What are you
No.
doing? What do you think? You?
She's like, okay, it's the pandemic.
Mm.
You don't have a job. You lost your jobs. What? What you gonna do? Buy a book. Spend a book. What you gonna do? And I kept hearing all these empowering courses. If you don't step out of your comfort zone, if you don't dare, if you're not bold, boom, I did it. I did it, but I was also like, Lord, you know that I'm not able to spend too much money on the waste. And it happened, and that's all it takes is just a risk to dare to do.
Yeah.
And and none of us in this world appears to be different everywhere that we no, we have different cultures, but we all want and have the same needs that we want to be recognized. We want to do something worthwhile. We want to love ourselves and we want to be loved. So what's so wrong? Why are we complicating that too?
Yeah.
In the universal language to me, because I got moved 49 times in my lifetime, it's like, hey, if you can smile and you can hug, you're good to go.
Yeah.
You're not attacking anybody. That's the universal language. So I'll figure out the rest of the words in between. But if people see I'm not attacking them, then hey, it's all good. And
Yeah.
that's what brings peace when you invite people into the world and instead of, oh, you're different. I don't know. You weird.
Right? I know if we all could really work to just love one another, regardless of our differences of beliefs or whatever it is, I mean, this world would be so powerful. And like I
Right.
said, because I've always believed that united we are strong. And so I do my best to just love and love and love people and show them kindness because I get it. Like we all have our different upbringings, we all have our different experiences. So sometimes even those that believe things that I don't agree with, like I know that they have their own journey and they're also their own right. Like if they want to choose to believe that, who am I to tell them otherwise? Like, yeah, it sometimes, I feel for them because it's like you say, a limiting belief or whatnot, but we only have so much control. And I think the more that we show up with the positive energy, the positive perspectives, that
And
hopefully will be a ripple effect for everyone else to follow in suit in that way rather than the negative way that we're so used to seeing.
And there are
Yeah.
difficult people in the world, and we work with difficult
Yeah.
people, but don't we shouldn't let that keep us
Yeah. Yeah.
from trying to at least there's good in everyone.
Yeah.
We were all born with good, okay? How we got lost in the shuffle is by our experiences, by our environment, by all those toxic and
Yeah.
people that surround us. So so you have to, and I like in a way, I like that I've lived the other side of the fence. So
Hmm.
I see and I reflect, and it's kind of a reminder. All right, Marty, you see, if that's bothering you,
Yeah.
the reason why it's bothering you, because you've been down that road before. So I'm more compassionate and empathetic to the people, and I just find a way to make them smile. If I can't do
Yeah.
anything, I make them smile.
Yeah.
So, however they want to take life is fine with me, but there's a way out. There's a way out
Yes.
of that jail, that emotional jail we put ourselves into, and we're stuck and we don't even want to be where we want to be, but we have to be. And we start rationalizing everything in the opposite way that what it should be. So it's life. It's
Yeah.
life, and
But
it's
hey,
fun.
kudos. Yeah, it is. It can be. And that's the thing. It can be great. It can be the best ever if you so choose to believe so and choose to do the work and get yourself there. So, like I said, you're an incredible example of what is
Thank you.
possible. And I love it so much. And,
Thank
and
you.
so, Mar, I would love for you to share a little bit. Like, of course, we are going to share the links for your books. And
Right,
I
right,
definitely
right.
encourage anyone out there to check out her books. And go purchase, go support her, and share with us too is like what's a great way for people to follow you and find you um, if they
I'll
want to
link
learn
my
more.
link tree because I'm all over the map
Link
now.
tree.
I'm on
Okay.
every
Yeah.
social media.
Yes.
And just if you want to follow me, and I do put out a lot of things that help you. And
Mhm.
if something just resonates with you and you want to hear more, I offer a 15-minute, consult to see if it's something that might be a good fit for you. But
Yeah.
I don't obligate anyone. There's tons of people out there doing the same thing I'm doing. I just know that I've lived the other side of
Yeah.
not being resilient, and I don't want anyone to suffer.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. Like I said, you are an amazing soul, and
Thank
I'm so
you.
excited. I can't wait to hear even a year from now what more you all the other amazing things you accomplished. Like I love following you and seeing that. So I
Thank
can't
you.
thank you again enough again for being back on the show with us and updating us. And definitely for anyone who is this is your first time listening, I still really encourage you to go back and listen, learn more about Martie's background, her story. It's so empowering to know where she's come from and what she has overcome already. And then to see this growth in just a year's time and imagine for yourself what you can accomplish in a year, the difference you can make, the further you can be in just a year's time if you just take some action and be bold, be daring, right?
That's it. That's it.
And I do want to open the floor, of course. Is there any final piece of advice that you'd like to share with the listeners?
just believe you can achieve, to never give up on yourself, and start taking a picture at what you're about. Start writing down, do introspection, because that's when you take a don't ask anyone else. Just what what are the 10 good things about me? I had that exercise happen before I started all this, and I looked at him like, uh, I'm clueless. I don't know. I
Yeah.
and then you ask other people, if you can't figure out your 10 lists, you ask other people and they start telling, and then you're like, okay, all right, I'm strong. I've moved 49 times in my lifetime. I'm flexible. I started seeing the bigger
Bigger
picture.
picture.
Okay, I've been in a wheelchair, but I got out of the wheelchair, so now I know that you don't take body for granted. That nothing is automatic. You have to be appreciative. You have to be grateful. So I'm grateful, and I'm daring. I'm bold. I went in the Air Force as an airplane mechanic. I signed the contract without my parents' permission. So yeah, you take risk. What the heck is wrong with you? Why don't you see all
No,
this? So I started,
that's
that's what woke up all this stuff in me. It's
ah.
like, hey, all right, so if you do that, if you write your 10
Nope.
adjective list of the best way that you can describe yourself, and you can't do it, call me.
There you go. I love it. That's a great challenge for anyone listening. Go do that now. Reach out to people, reach out to us if you need some help with some of that. But I think that's a very powerful. I know I've done that before, and I was the same way. Like I Cobby could do like one or two, and then I was like just back to my negative, like I don't really know. And then asking friends and families, and then realizing, wow, what I've accomplished, what I've overcome already, what I've done is so motivating. So yeah, that's a wonderful way to end this. And again, Martie, thank you so much
Thank
for all that
you.
you
Thank
do.
everyone. Thank
Yeah.
everyone for listening. And I hope you share this message across the board, because it is important, especially for children, especially for
Yeah,
parents, especially for the world, for the future, for all humanity. This doesn't leave anyone out of it. We have to apply it. We have to work on it. So God
absolutely.
bless.
God bless.